Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about some very important things for the beginning of this new year. As we're moving into a new year and as the energy right now is generally rising continuously, it is very important to take great care of yourself and to keep a high energy, a high frequency, and to protect yourself, to cleanse yourself right now. And I will be talking about some very important steps to take right now to have a fabulous year. So something I'm going to talk about is the violet flame. Many know about the violet flame and many have used it before, but these are some very new important things to do right now that are very helpful. I will talk about general how to disconnect from the 3D world or from the old matrix and what is important right now, so you will really go forward into the higher dimensions, 4D, 5D. And I'm talking about what to do, how to protect yourself and your environment, like chemtrails and things like that, and what is important to move forward in this year, how to move from doubt to certainty, to clarity. Okay, so starting with the violet flame. The violet flame is such an important tool. The dark side has fear, as we know, as many of us have experienced during the last 2-3 years. The fear has been rising. Fear is the opposite of a high frequency. If you feel a lot of fear in your body, your frequency is lowered. And a lot of not so good things are happening in the metabolism of your body. So the light side has the violet flame and love. But the violet flame is a great tool to rise your frequency and to cleanse yourself. So what are you going to do with the cleansing? So you can do to cleanse your body. Right now it's especially important because of the high frequency rising and because of the disconnecting from the old matrix. It's so important to keep your body in a high frequency. For that, it is important to cleanse it 3 times a day with a violet flame. So it's like if you're standing up, you imagine that you're standing inside a fire, inside the flames of a fire, and this fire is violet. You can call upon the violet flame, and if you imagine it like a flame that is moving, that has a violet color, and that is a little bit more intense than the normal violet that you know, the color violet, because in the other world the colors are much more intense. So imagine yourself to stand inside of this flame, and this flame is going to transform everything that is in your field and inside your body, inside of every cell that is no longer good right now, or that is heavy, or that you would like to release. So do that as long as you think this is good for you, or until you feel like the heaviness or the things that you're processing right now have been lifted or have been transformed. And it's important to do that 3 times a day because of all the things that are being released, because our bodies are elevated to a higher frequency. A lot of the old things are released in a much shorter time than in the years before. So do that every day. And the other thing is your food, your drinks, anything that touches your body, put it in the violet flame. So before you drink a glass of water, imagine that the glass of water is transformed with the violet flame. This is so important because right now there's a lot of toxins and a lot of not so good things in our water, in the air, in the food that we eat. Even if we try to eat organic food, still there is often residues or from the air residues that are not so healthy. And the violet flame can transform a lot of those things. You can test it out if you have 2 glasses of water and one you leave as it is and the other one you treat with a violet flame. So you imagine the flame or the violet light around this glass, containing the glass with water, until you feel it's completed or it's transformed. It's just a couple of seconds. And you can taste that it tastes differently. And you should do the same thing with your food, so that nothing touches your lips that has not been cleansed with the violet flame. It's very important, because right now, during the transition time, we're still influenced with a lot of negative things, a lot of negative energy. If it's 5G, if it's, the toxins in the food and the air. So the violet flame can be used for your food, your drink, your house, cleansing your house. So you can imagine, I do it regularly in the morning and in the evening to cleanse the whole house. It's like almost like you put your whole house, you imagine your whole house or your apartment in a violet flame until you feel that the energy is cleansed. You can do this with your work area. You can do this with your home. And you can do it with the people that are living inside of your home. Normally, we do not impose upon others, like healing or things like that. But this is a little bit different, because if they're in your field, in your immediate field, right now it's very important to actually cleanse them with a violet flame. If they're in your field, it could be your pets, your children, your family, if they're in the house with you, because everybody is releasing a lot of things right now. So imagine them in the violet flame. And you can even do that when you're walking in a different place, like when you go shopping and you're around a lot of people, you can imagine yourself in the violet flame. And right now it's even good to help others, which means like if you're buying your food in the supermarket, you can imagine not only the food that you're buying, but like the whole shelf of vegetables to be in the violet flame, to be cleansed through the violet flame, and to ask that they are cleansed by the violet flame, so that everything is removed. And this is so helpful right now. The message that I got was that there are enough light workers right now on Earth, and enough light workers are awake for the awareness, for the process, but a lot of light workers are not actually doing something. A lot of those that could do something are not actually doing something because they're not sure what they can do. So it is very important right now to any intuition that you have around that, do it. Cleanse the water. If you're, imagine the lakes that you go walking along, imagine it in the violet flame. The water of Mother Earth, there's a lot of places where the water of Mother Earth is not in the ideal condition. So cleanse your body, cleanse your food, your drinks, and imagine to cleanse that area, the house or the place you're in. The next point is you can cleanse others with it. So one thing one can do, especially right now, because there's a lot of light and darkness active right now, you can imagine the people that are in a higher position right now and that might not be making good decisions right now. You can imagine them in the violet flame, asking for their consciousness to be transformed, asking for the light coming forth, so that people that are right now in a place of decision making, you can imagine them receiving the transformation, receiving the transformative light. But now I'm coming to the second part. how to protect yourself or how to release or to unplug yourself from the old matrix. And one thing that many people are easily plugged in or reattached to the old matrix is fear, that I have talked about. So wherever you feel fear or fearful, you get kind of sucked back in to the old matrix. Even if you have disconnected, there's a tendency to be back into the old matrix, even if you're just tipping in, because of the fear. So fear is the, as I said before, fear is the weapon of the darkness. And it's very important to try not to go into the fear. Or if you have fearful thoughts, to try to look for shift in perspective. Could you look at that in a different way? Or just put yourself in a violet flame and ask that you're cleansed and ask that this fear is being lifted off. There's more steps you can do with fear, but right now in this video, I would like to talk about how you can use the violet flame as a way to release yourself from the old matrix. So having too many impulses right now to help others or help to shift the bigger picture, if you have too many impulses right now, or if you're constantly under stress because of others, because you would like to help others, or because your animals or your children are constantly sick, or something is happening, it's like you feel the impulse that you need to help. This can actually be also a way to draw you back into the old matrix. So it is good to help when, and this is kind of a difficult thing, it is good to help others, but if it is too much, then I call it Beschäftigungstherapy. So it's like a way of the old matrix to keep you busy. You need to do this, and then you need to help them, and then you need to do this. And this is kind of keeping you away from actually looking inside and staying peaceful inside and reconnecting to the divinity or the divine light inside, because you're constantly so much involved in the outside. This can be a great distraction. I talked with a lot of light workers that are doing very high work, and they said usually if something very important is just about to happen, or they need to do something that is very important, usually they get a distraction. This could be the child suddenly becoming sick, or having an accident, or themselves having an accident, or their pet having an accident, or becoming sick, or something. So if something like that happens, and it happens regularly, this might be a way of pulling you away, of keeping you busy from the very important things, which are really stepping in your path, doing what you came here to do, and awakening your inner light and awakening your divine seed. So this is a very important thing. Try to look more intensely on what is happening in your outside life, because it's a reflection of the inside. So what is keeping you from staying in this peaceful place? So what is very important right now is to reconnect with the divinity inside, to activate your light, to stay in a high frequency. This is the most important thing. If you stay in high frequency and if you activate your divine light, you start to shine. And not just in your life, but physically you could see it. You start to shine so strongly that you could protect, that one person, one light worker could protect a whole town. Like create a dome of light around a whole town. Create a dome of protection around a whole town of people. This is not nothing you should concentrate on. Do not try to concentrate on it. This is a side effect of shining. You will have such a strong field that nothing can harm you anymore. But before that, before this level is acquired, before this level is reached, the life actually feels to become a little bit more difficult, or a little bit more heavy, or a little bit more just before you break through, just before you really connect. So all those things that are happening is trying to keep you from connecting, because the more light workers are truly connected with their divine light, then there is nothing the dark side can do anymore. So try to watch that you're not being distracted from the most important thing, and you can help the most people if you really work with yourself and connect with this divine light. So this is more important right now than helping others in a way. This is the most important thing. If you focus on that, it will ripple out into your world. It will ripple out wherever you are right now. And this is why the light workers are actually often spread out. They are not all in one place. Also, we would like to have all the light workers right next to us, right close around, because it feels really good to have like-minded people around, to have a tribe around. But often we are spread out into the world, because so that we are like acupuncture needles for Mother Earth, so that when we connect to our divine light, this is the connection to the core of Mother Earth and to the divine and to the Great Spirit. So if you're truly connected, our light will spread out, will shine, and it will protect and lift up and rise the frequency in a quite big area around us. So this is the most important thing right now. So right now it is like looking inside and focusing on the inside to keep yourself in a high frequency. And this creates a light of protection around you. But while you're going through this, you can also imagine a violet light around your aura, like on the outside of your aura. And over that violet light, over this violet flame around your aura, you can imagine a blue light. It's almost like an electric light. It's like a little bit like blue with lightning in it. So imagine the violet flame covering your aura, your outer field, and then on overlayering that, there is this blue light. Also imagine it like a more intense blue, which has this electric energy, this little bit of lightning in it. This is a strong protection especially when you're around people, and when you go outside and meet a lot of people, or you're in a group of people, like you would be in a workplace or in a city. And form groups of 8. You do not even need to be in one place. You could do it online. You could say that you're connecting yourself in a certain time. So the groups of 8 becoming more important for the transformation and for the activating of the potential, and for the healing of places, of systems, of things you would like to focus on. So in a group of 8, you could you have a stronger potential, or you have a higher potential to transform something. So if you come together in a group of 8 and you imagine the violet flame together, and you imagine that each of you is covered in the violet flame, and that you as group are one violet flame, and then you focus this energy of the violet flame onto something. This could be a place, or a group of people, as I said before, like people in higher position that need to transform or need to change things, or in a position to change things, or you could focus that light on a city, on whatever comes to mind. But try to do that in a group. Try not to do this by yourself, because of this energy that is active right now and so many things being released, it's always good to use this pot energy to transform bigger things or places. You can also use the violet flame for neutralizing chemtrails. If you imagine, this works especially good if you imagine it, for example, around your house. You imagine that it comes from Mother Earth and it goes all the way up into the sky. Way, way up. Almost like out of the atmosphere of the Earth, or reaching to the outer limits of the atmosphere of Mother Earth. If you imagine this violet flame, but imagine it more centered, more like around your house or in a certain area, and imagine how it is going to transform and neutralize everything, every chemicals that are in this area. And you can see that the chemtrails, like around your house, are going to break up. They might be on the outside still, but in this area you're working with, this will be lifted. What you could do additionally is to imagine a light spiral that is moving counterclockwise first and then clockwise afterwards. So what I usually do is the violet flame first, then the counterclockwise light spiral, then the clockwise light spiral, and then the violet flame again. And do this as long until you can actually see the chemtrails breaking up around your house or above your house or above the area that you're in. What is important is that you imagine either the light spiral or the violet flame from the earth, or starting from the earth and going all the way out, like into space. Because often the chemtrails are in a higher area of the atmosphere. What is also very important right now is to, if you would like to move forward, to concentrate more on reconnecting with your inner light and the divine light, because things are much faster manifested this way. This is more important than focusing on what you would like to have, because sometimes what you are meant to have is even better than what you can imagine. But if you get impulses, act on them. So if you get impulses to do something, act on them, but do not focus on how to do it or what you need to do, more on what the result will look like. Not the how, but more the what. How would it look like, instead of how you're going to get there. And then focus on the light and ask for guidance. And if you get an impulse, then follow it through. And be aware that doubts are just there to keep you stuck, to keep you in a place of not moving forward. Right now, moving forward is very important. So if you get impulses, try to do even little steps. Right now, a lot of people are stuck in one place. They would like to move forward. They would like to create the new world, but they don't do too many action steps. Do even little steps. Right now, action will be rewarded big time. When you do the action right now, in the coming months, there will be a lot of, like, the universe will answer you and will step 2 steps towards you. If you make 1 step forward, the universe will make 2 steps towards you, or even more. And the other thing that is important right now is to reconnect with the night school. Some of you might know that at night we can ask to go into the night school, what I call the night school, which means when you're dreaming, you can go to a place to learn what is important for you right now, what are the next steps, and to learn all kinds of wonderful techniques, wonderful knowledge. And all you need to do is to ask before you go to bed that you would like to go to night school, and most important, that you would like to remember what happened there. And there, I have been to many different night schools, so there's night schools in a lot of variations. Some are more in a natural setting, some are more in a, like they look like temples. There's different places. But as to go to night school, it's very important right now, because night school is a place for the light workers to connect, and you could meet somebody that you met in night school in your real life. So it's a real thing. It's not just you going there. It's like a lot of people going to those places at night to learn what they need to learn what their purpose is, to learn all kinds of neat things, and to reconnect. So ask to go to night school and ask that you remember what happened there. So those are my tips for this next month. Work with the violet flame. Cleanse yourself, your food, your environment, your water. Work with a connection to the divine light inside. Actively connect with this place of inner peace, of your light, so this can really ripple out into your world. Do not engage with fear. Engage with positive expectations. Engage with the inner light, the divine light, the intuition, and ask to go to night school. So take great care of yourself and stay in a high frequency and work with your guides on creating this life that you're dreaming of. And if you like to have more guidance on how to work with the violet flame, or how to work with neutralizing chemtrails, or how to reconnect with the night school, then tune in to my Circle of Light. I will give there meditations and descriptions of how to work with the violet flame and how to work with the things that I talked about today.